All right, welcome back, everybody. Today's special guest that we have on is Charlie Trevena, who is started up a little business called Destination Webinars, who is, I guess, in line with some of the stuff that we've been doing and others in the industry at the moment, trying to create some platforms and some services that are going to help the industry, operate in the space that we're all in at the moment, that we're all working from home and online and so forth. And she's created some really cool stuff that's going to complement all that for both agents and suppliers and people in the industry. So welcome, Charlie, and thank you for giving up some of your time today to share what's going on in your world. And for those that don't know who you are out there, how about you give us your little backstory or entry into the industry and how you came up with, starting Destination Webinars and the end of it all.
Yeah, sure. And I'd like to say, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. We're definitely working in the same space, but very complementary. So, and I'm excited to be here because you're in charge of all the tech today on the webinar side, which is normally my job. So I can relax. If things go wrong, you're taking care of it. So yes, my name's Charlie. I'm the founder of Destination Webinars. My background in the industry is I've been working in travel and tourism for over 20 years, so pretty much my entire adult working life, as you can hear. Originally from the UK, but I grew up in Germany and I traveled around Europe as a kid in my school holidays. Did my first ski season when I was 18 in Austria. Went to uni, went traveling, did lots of skiing. Then ended up in New Zealand, which was supposed to be for one winter season. And then I lived in Queenstown for 7 years, which those of you who've been to Queenstown could probably see how that's easily done. So there I was the sales rep for Coronet Peak and the Remarkables for NZ Ski, for those of you who are skiers. Had a great 7 years in New Zealand. And now I've been living in WA for 9 years. And when I moved to Australia, I was offered a contract to be self-employed and to move into the freelance space, which has been really great. So the past 9 years, I've been working as a freelance tourism marketer, a lot in the Canada space. So I work with Destination Canada. I've worked with Travel Alberta, Destination British Columbia. Some of the WA agents know me here on the road for Rocky Mountaineer, because I also represent them, or have been, not at the moment, of course. But yeah, so kind of coming at it from a tourism marketing and a sales representation background. But one of my favorite jobs I've had over the past 9 years has been hosting webinars for Destination Canada's Canada Specialist Program. Pre-COVID, I was already a massive webinar fan. I thought it was a really great platform and way for agents to learn and be connected with suppliers and with tourism boards. I had presenters calling in from Canada and agents all over the country. And I was like, this is really fantastic. It's such a great tool. And then thought, well, I can branch out and I can help more agents and more suppliers be connected. And so this idea for Destination Webinars and building an online webinar library that agents can access at any time to learn about something is something that I've had in my head for a few years. And of course, just life's been busy. I've got a family and I had jobs and work on. And it wasn't really until this situation arose that I was like, you know what? Webinars are more important now than ever. It's a great tool to keep people connected. I'm going to do it. I'm going to build the library. I'm going to offer a live series, which I do weekly on a Thursday. We have the BYO Coffee Cluster series. So I have 3 suppliers, 3 reps call in on the same call, and we just do real quick 15-minute updates back to back. So yeah, in terms of Destination Webinars, there is the live webinar, the coffee clusters, and the webinars I still do for Destination Canada, but also there's the library side. So all of the webinars that I host are recorded, they're put into the library. I also do pre-records with suppliers who I can't fit into the coffee clusters right now. So just building that resource, as you are, building a resource for the trade to access when they want it, when they need it, to keep their skills up at a time when especially maybe you've got a little bit more time to do those things right now.
And I guess like myself and others out there have kind of figured out, well, what this time's as good a time as any, because now we've got the time. You're not on the road, you're not doing your day-to-day job that you were before, and life possibly wasn't as busy once we all kind of went into this lockdown or isolation space. How's it been starting this obviously fantastic concept and new business idea and playing in this space, but at the same time having to deal with what life has actually been like in the last 3 months with kids and you know, everything else that's come along with it? How have you kind of coped from the personal side of things?
Yeah, you know, it's been busy. Yeah, the last few months have been insanely busy. And anyone who's thinking about starting a business, I recommend maybe do it before you have kids, or at least don't do it, but start it. Because I've had this idea for a few years, and now I have 2 children and a 2-year-old who, you know, is homeschooling my 5-year-old for a little while. My 2-year-old has literally gone back to daycare this week, just been able to get her back in. And so it's been pretty full on, just juggling family life, trying to work on the business, hosting webinars, keeping everybody quiet. So yeah, it's been pretty full on, but it's also been really rewarding. I think I felt a lot like you did, that, you know, we saw the agents going through all this pain and we weren't on the road and weren't able to help. And so this was a way that I really felt that I could help. Which was really what drove my motivation to get it all up and running. But yeah, from a personal perspective, it's been pretty full on. I'm celebrating my 2-year-old's back at daycare today, and just ticking a few things off the list, and hopefully won't go to bed too late tonight due to that.
Yeah, and obviously you saw an opportunity to fill a bit of a gap, possibly that's been in the market, and especially during this period over the last few months. How do you see, you know, destination webinars and what you're providing sort of help that, you know, that the other side of the industry? How do you see it evolving into what a, you know, a normal you know, industry could look like on the other side, and where will you see yourself fitting in with destination webinars?
Yeah, well, I hope that, you know, it will continue. The coffee cluster series that I run, the live one, is weekly. And the plan is, if people still keep coming, if it's something that they want. I mean, I've had really great feedback from the agents who come, or even I have a whole list of agents who can never make the live sessions but request all the recordings. So they don't even sign up to come, but they get all of the follow-up information. So if we can keep doing this weekly, if it's just another channel, another opportunity for those people, especially who are still working from home or even working in the office and can carve out that little bit of time still for learning, then my goal would be to keep the weekly clusters going. And also my Canada program will keep going, but also just keep adding to the library. The goal really is that, say you get a client inquiry and it's about something that you don't know about, you haven't sold, you haven't been to, that you could jump into the library and just see if there's a webinar on it. And I'm amazed with the clusters at what I can learn in 15 minutes from a supplier, because I'm also really big on bite-sized information, especially as an introduction. So the amount you can learn in 15 minutes, which is the average length of most of the webinars in the library, is quite amazing. So yes, I'm hopeful that there is a place for this, even once we get through this kind of weird period.
What do you think some of the challenges be, or, you know, you say that you're hopeful that it'll be there on the other side, as we all are. What things do you think could get in the way, or what challenges will stop that from being as successful as you envisage it to be?
Yeah, I guess it's just the participation. If I'm building something that the industry wants and needs moving forward, like I said, I've had both great feedback from the agent side, but also from the suppliers, because as a supplier, sometimes you've got your list and the people that you keep in touch with, and, you know, doing a webinar with me means that you can branch out and maybe, you know, get in touch with some agents that you haven't been in touch with, and also just that broader net as well, because the webinars are available nationwide, so it doesn't really matter which rep is delivering it. We can reach as many people as possible. But yes, it does need to be a service that's used. Agents keep coming to webinars, keep requesting the recordings, visit the library and watch some of the recordings. And but I'm very much open to feedback right now. Of course, it's a bit of an experiment as well. So I love receiving feedback, whether that's good or not necessarily bad, constructive, how to do things better, how to be more helpful, because that's the reason that I built it, is to create something that is helpful for the industry. So if there's a way that it could be more helpful, then let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess maybe some time stuff will come into it as well, as agents will get a little bit busy, and we all hope that maybe we've created some habits around self-directed learning and upskilling and knowledge and so forth. I guess we're, probably all concerned that maybe people fall back into that trap of, putting it to the side, or I'll do that later, or, I don't have time for that. And then we're back to kind of where we were before, which is knowing what we already know. Do you
Yeah,
agree?
that's it. Oh, I totally agree. And I know it's hard to think that when people are really busy again, but I think just setting aside, choose a day of the week, or choose an hour of each day or half an hour of each day. But I think if you can systemize when you do that, I mean, I'm the same with myself. I'm working on my business and doing the updates and doing all the stuff, but I still need to take that step back and do some learning and do some planning. And it's really hard when you're busy. So you actually have to consciously decide when you're going to make that time to do those things. And block out your calendar. This is my learning hour of the week. Or however you're going to do it, I think is a really handy way to look at it.
And if you were a travel agent, right now, obviously we're both in similar situations where we're watching them, we're feeling for them, we're seeing what they're going through every single day, and we'll probably continue to go through in some way, shape, or form for some time to come still. What's your thoughts around, what would you like to see in the industry, or what would you like, to see what the other side would actually look like? If you were an agent, and obviously you're trying to fill one part of that possible gap, but if you're an agent, what else would you like to sort of see in the industry to help you moving forward?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, we really feel for the agents, and some of the things that you hear that people are dealing with is pretty hard. And our heart goes out to them completely. I think, if as a marketing background, advice to agents would be to really work on their personal branding. Social media is so huge right now. And also, I think me and you have similar ideas about being a specialist, being a niche, finding those niche areas where you work and really sort of honing those skills. So if somebody says to you, what do you do? And you're a travel agent, you don't say, well, I'm a travel agent. You say, oh, I'm a travel agent who specializes in family travel or in ski. So I like ski. That would probably be what I would be doing. Or I specialize in Canada, whether that's destinations or types of travel. I think really creating yourself as an expert in certain areas and then telling the world about it through social media, through everything that then aligns with that from a personal branding perspective. I think that's where the strongest agents will hopefully emerge and start to see some of that business come back again.
And I guess as we see people possibly gravitate from maybe some bricks and mortar businesses to more remote or mobile or online spaces, being an agent for your geographical area isn't necessarily the only thing that you need to do to be successful. You can niche yourself in certain areas and be experts in certain parts of the industry that you're really passionate about and you love. And by focusing on the training and the learning and the experience of those areas, you can reach 25 million Australians if you do it right as a marketer, using social media and using those things to actually market your skills and who you are as an agent. You can attract like-minded customers that you want to deal with and book and sell the products that you want to deal with. So it's about, I don't know, for me, it's kind of about just taking the leap and not feeling that you have to be everything to everybody, and take every single little booking that's around you, just because you're a travel agent and that's what you do, you book stuff. So yeah, I think, as you said, we're both on similar sort of wavelengths where it comes to, what a future agent could look like and possibly should look like, to really be able to be successful in the new market conditions we're probably looking to be facing in the not too distant future.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, you got to take some of that low hanging fruit as well, especially if we get the trans-Tasman bubble, the elusive bubble. So we're not saying that you don't sell everything, but it's what do you want to sell more of? Like you say, what inquiries do you want to come to you? if you put out there what you're passionate about, then, you know, more of those types of inquiries will come back to you. So it's not about putting yourself in a box. It's just about the things that you talk about out loud and what you want to sell more of. I think it's a good way of looking at it.
And what are your thoughts on the industry in a whole, you know, as a collective industry? What do you think the most important areas are that we should really be focusing on right now, working together? Obviously, we're on the webinar train, you know, possibly together at the moment. You know, we're all being collective. You know, I was on Richard's program the other day. We'll probably get him on as well. Maybe later on, I might get him on at some point, give him a bit of exposure. To, you know, because he's only getting 3 or 4 views at the moment, so he probably needs some more. You know,
don't tell him we've been talking about him.
He might watch. I mean, I think he does watch it religiously every day to get pointers and tips. But it's from a collective, you know, without all jokes aside, what do you think we should be?
Yeah,
you know?
collective. I think collective, and that's where everybody's really thinking. And yes, which is wonderful for me to be able to talk about what I'm doing, and you guys are totally welcome to come and put some information and do a pre-record and tell everybody through my platform as well. But I think that really is just looking at how we can work together. There's been talk of you know, standardized conditions just to make things easier for agents and for consumers. If we can go down the route of just less complications and being a little bit more aligned, even with our competitors, then I think that's a good way of looking at it, that we are one industry. And first and foremost, we want people to travel. We want people to feel safe about traveling. And, you know, and what can we do to ease their fears or their concerns as an industry to get people traveling again. So I know there's some really great initiatives out there at the moment. Cato's doing one as well about gathering ideas along these lines. So yeah, working together.
Yeah, I think it's about just throwing the book out and just starting again. You know, in certain areas, we've reinvented the wheel so many times. You know, we've rejigged terms and conditions, we've rejigged policies, we've rejigged the way we market ourselves, our businesses, our brands, how we stand out in a crowd. You know, whatever we're offering is better than what you're offering, and all of this sort of stuff, and really, you know, moving forward. For me personally, I just love a really good reset button. You know, really blank canvas, and take all the good stuff that we love, and just remove all the shit that just doesn't need to be there. You know, and build it back up from a really strong foundation of like-minded people who are just passionate about travel, love what we do, love looking after customers and getting them to experience the world. And how we all do that together to just make that happen is I think we have to. There's no we should or could. It's just that's what we have to do. So
yeah, and putting the customers first. I mean, I know that's kind of ironic in this situation when everyone's dealing with all their customers, but just that real client relationship, I think, you know, really thinking about managing your clients and relationship managing, keeping in touch with them maybe when they're not traveling, or just keeping those you know, those customer systems where you know what they like, you know, things about their family, you could suggest trips to them. You know, just that real customer relationship management, I think, is really important moving forward as well. And because people do have a choice of where to go. So if you look after your clients, that's it, you get your referrals, take good care of them, and keep in touch with them when they're not traveling as well.
And I think from that point of view, it is all about connection. You know, it is about connecting with those people, you know, on a deeper level than just the normal transaction stuff. You know, I can book that really good for you, you know, concept. You know, it's about understanding who they are, what they need, what they want from travel, and obviously being able to deliver that, and being able to connect with like-minded people, like-minded travelers around products that you're both passionate about. Then those relationships are going to be stronger and better. You know, I know plenty of agents out there that will book cruise, but wouldn't be caught dead on a ship, you know, because it's good commission and it's an easy booking. And I just think gone are the days of that, you know. So figuring out who you are and what you believe in and how you want to travel and how you believe people should travel, and then looking for like-minded customers to be able to connect with, you know, then the experience that people deliver on that platform is going to be a lot better for everybody on the other, you know, on the other
Yeah, and I
side.
think you can look at that from an ideal customer perspective. I still feel like if your client loves to cruise, then you know you still appreciate that about them, to find what they want, even if it doesn't necessarily align with your ideal customer. But that's it. It's about knowing what their likes are, and also just finding more information than say what I could find on Google. You know, so and that's again where we circle back to the learning and the updating, is that, you know, how do you know more than your client, or what your client can go and find out themselves? And you can say, oh, you know, I was talking to this rep, or I was listening to this presentation, and so you pitch yourself as the expert because you're in touch with the other experts as well, that you can go to the source and get the information. You know, you can get in touch with the tourism board and say, hey, what are the best top 5 things to do in Vancouver in the winter? And, you know, and have those relationships with the tourism boards, who are always really wanting to work with the trade as well, and always welcome those kind of inquiries, because their job is to also get that information out there.
Yeah, I agree. A collective approach, lots of knowledge, lots of upskilling, niche yourself. You know, what do you want to be known for? And try to look for like-minded customers that, you know, you can connect really well with, and create really great relationships. You know, all of that. If we as the support people of the industry, you know, can create an environment around everybody that allows that to happen, then, you know, I think we'll all be winning on the other side, and however way, shape or form that looks.
Yeah, that's it. And our goals are to fill those gaps and to be the conduits, to be the moderators. That's it. Normally, I'm not the one doing the presenting, because I'm putting the suppliers and the agents together. So it's a bit weird to be asking, you know, my own opinions on this, and all this stuff. But it is really valuable. We're here as the support network for the industry, and hopefully everyone's valuing what we do, Josh, and we'll keep coming back for more.
Well, yeah, look, as you said, you know, if there's 3 people watching, or 300 people watching, it doesn't really matter. We just keep doing it, and keep moving forward, because we believe in what we're trying to, I guess, put out there, and we're trying to support an industry that's on its knees, and help it get back to where it can get to on the other side of all this. And on a lighter note, mate, I guess, you know, being over there in WA, and, you know, being on the other side of the world, basically.
The other side, yeah, basically cut off. The other side of the wall.
The other side of the wall. let's not joke about things that might end up happening. But you know, obviously being in travel, and being someone passionate about the industry and so forth, but obviously deep in the startup of your business, have you got any plans to travel? You know, when's your next trip to Bali? Like everyone else.
Well, no, I've I've already had my first trip, my first intrastate trip. I did go down to the Margaret River region a couple of weeks ago with the family, and you know what, that it was just amazing. It was just so lovely to get away, because we do go away, you know, every few months, try and just get somewhere. And so it'd been weird just not having gone anywhere for a while. And I know, again, everyone's busy and budgets are tight, but even if you could just get away somewhere for one night down the road, just do it. We had a really wonderful time. I mean, it's a beautiful region anyway. I know that WA is on a lot of people's bucket lists over east, which is awesome. And once the borders are open, can't wait for you to all come over and experience areas like that. So yeah, I've already had my first holiday. I do have a trip booked to New Zealand in September, so we will see if I get some skiing in this year. If not, then I'll have to push back to another ski trip. But yeah, hopefully we will see what happens. Hey, but I'm ready to holiday again.
And from WA, do you go that way to get to New Zealand, or do you go that way? What's closer?
It's still, yeah, Australia's not that big. But yeah, no, it's all good. So looking forward to it.
Well, mates, thanks for jumping on. You know, a huge amount of value, I think, you're providing, not only, you know, today in this little chat, but, you know, every day in what you're doing over there, and providing, you know, really great platform for the industry, and for the people to connect, and to learn, and to gain knowledge, which is what we're all trying to do at the moment, is provide a platform for people to be able to do that. So well done on everything that you're doing. And
thank you.
good luck with the next few weeks and months ahead. And
yeah.
just before we let you go, though, is there a nomination? We love it. We love a nomination. Apparently, it was a genius trick of how to get engagement.
I did think it was genius. I was
platform.
saying, yeah, it took me months to build my webinar calendar, and then I saw you doing nominations. I was like, oh, that was a really good idea, Josh.
just lazy, really, just lazy. Trying to reach out to everybody. It's like, let people do it for me.
Keep it simple. But sorry, before we go, so destinationwebinars.com.au.
Oh yeah, of course.
The library. I'm doing my plug. The library is live, so please do jump on and come have a look at some of the presentations on there, and come along to the coffee cluster on Thursdays. I am going to keep it in my Canada family, so I would like to nominate Millie Brown from Rocky Mountaineer. Millie's a wonderful rep for Rocky Mountaineer, very passionate about Canada. It's Canada Day next week as well, so I'm doing a webinar with her on Wednesday, but yeah, I'm sure she'd love to come on and tell you about Rocky Mountaineer and a bit about Western Canada.
Yeah, and I guess we're kind of missing this North America summer for Rocky and that sort of thing. So, hopefully we're ready for the 2021 season of Rocky.
Yeah, and it was their big 30th. It was their big 30th anniversary this year as well. So obviously not quite the celebrations that they had planned. Have to push it back till next year.
Yeah. Well, it'll be great to hear from her and what's happening in their world and what they're preparing for next season. But again, mate, thank you. We will maybe put your links to your website and your webinars on the post for people to
we'll reciprocate, Josh. We'll reciprocate.
I might miss
You can put yours on mine too.
I might misspell the odd website or put a .az instead of au or something, just in case people have to try harder to find it. But no, absolutely happy to support what you're doing, and we appreciate the support as well. So thanks for jumping on, and look forward to catching up on the other side and working together as we move forward into the new world.
Yeah, that would be fab. Thank you, and congratulations on all your stuff, Josh. Good job. Keep it up.
Thanks. Talk soon. See ya.